Radio 420 AM, W.E.E.D. Coughing and choking like we usually do in the intro. There's my cohort G, hitting the bong and coughing his ass off. Pass that this way, good buddy.
No, yes. Sorry.
I need something to wash this down with.
Force of habit, as they say.
This show, again, is brought to you by Cannabinoids and Pinnacle Vodka. two weeks in a row.
Consistency, I like it.
Yep, just like Ron Paul.
We're keeping shit consistent. Yes, absolutely.
Constantly consistent, and we love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
Even though there are not that many of you. We do appreciate it if you do share the posts or tell your friends about the show.
It's a loyal fan base. We're going to grow. It's all about growth.
It's all about the hardcore fans for now.
It's only our 7th episode, so it's not like we're,
we're just over here smoking like we usually do. This is Radio 420 AM, and we actually would like to know what your favorite weed is and how you'd like to smoke it. And we now have a hotline where you could leave us a message about that, and we'll post your cool answers on air next week. It's 347-67-420 AM. That number again is 347-67-420 AM.
Can you get 6-9-420 AM?
Yes, cool. I could, but I didn't because 6-7 sounds better because 6 comes before the 7. That was my logic.
No,
the 9 just sounds weird. It's 347-97, and like, you might not remember, but 347-67-420 AM. That's the number. Call us up.
You're hoping that people alliterate in their heads and they rhyme the 7 then the 7.
It's kind of like what WSOU did. The reason why you remember that number because it kind of it flowed well. Yeah. It rolled off the tongue.
I like 347-67-420 AM. It's not bad. It's not terrible.
Yeah, it worked.
I'll live with it.
I mean, out of all the numbers in New York City, there's like pretty much like 10 million of them plus. The fact that wasn't taken and I could find that number in the first place is actually pretty good. So, I mean, I stuck with it, and I'm like, yo, that's the best number I could find.
Scoured the ends of the earth.
That number, again, is 347-67-420 AM. Call us up, leave a message. We'd like to know what your favorite weed is and how you like to smoke it.
Yes, form of smoking. You can answer anything. Joint, blunt, vaporizer, bong, pipe, apple, you name it, whatever you want to do. I've smoked out of a carrot even, so anything's possible.
Wow. Wow. You gotta smoke some of that. Dude,
a carrot is perfect. Think about it.
Oh, did you, on Tosh.0, I think in like the last 2 episodes,
I've done it.
They showed somebody on a fishing vessel smoking out of a fish.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I guess it has the proper hole.
Yeah, well, he was smoking out of the mouth, and he drilled a hole on top of its head, and he was just smoking a weed.
You can use an eye as the carb.
You can, too.
Dual carbs.
That's brilliant.
2 eyes.
See, they didn't think that far ahead.
They did not.
They're not real potheads like us.
No. We gotta innovate.
Shit, if we were stranded on the sea, in the bottom of the sea like SpongeBob, we'd be smoking out of a sea cucumber.
Too bad the weed gets wet. It's no good.
Seaweed.
Anyway, speaking of the magical herb, big story out of Amsterdam this week.
Amsterdamski, my friend.
It's an unfortunate one, actually. I'm not a big fan of this one. So the conservative Christians and the crazy Muslims got together in the great land of Holland.
Holy shit, there will be an apocalypse this year. Did you just tell me that the conservative Christians and the Muslims got together?
Well, not literally, but both of their bitching caused this war because the conservative Christian is who's the government right now is more conservative than previous regimes, and the Muslims are very high population right now, and they're building schools all over the city. There are ordinances in place. In Amsterdam, yeah. There are ordinances in place which prevent coffee shops from operating in certain distances.
Do you know the section and title of these ordinances, or we just have to take your word for it?
I do not know Dutch law that well. I'm sorry. It's not my native land. I was just there.
It's not my native land, but it kind of is.
Yeah, I wish it was. I definitely live there.
No, it kind of is.
Yeah,
at least the touristy areas.
At heart.
That's our native land.
At heart it is.
The coffee shop.
My soul is of Amsterdam, I believe.
Wake and bake, fuck coffee. That's the strategy behind the Amsterdam
I don't drink coffee, actually, so it makes sense to me. I drink tea.
Coffee, the morning crack.
Yeah, but coffee's, I don't know. It's like artificial, and it's like, I feel it's not good for you. Somehow. There's something about it that makes me feel like this is too good to be true.
I don't know. If I was in Amsterdam, I'd walk out of my room, walk down into a coffee shop, have a cup of coffee and a joint.
Dude, I'd
feel great.
I never had the coffee, but I had tea instead. So whatever. Caffeine's caffeine. Tea has caffeine as well.
Yes, it does.
For those of you unaware. I was talking about the law where they're banning hash, which is obviously a...
Don't kick the table, guy. That transfers into the mix.
What table? We're in a sophisticated studio.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't stop kicking tables.
All right. Anyway, fucking Rick
Because
James
the record might skip.
It might. Tupac said that.
Chappelle show.
I know, but Tupac, obviously, dude. Come on. Stay with me here. Come on. You're on point. Anyway, hash being banned. So this doesn't affect the actual marijuana laws. You can still buy, marijuana in coffee shops, but they're now stopping hash, which is a more condensed form of marijuana.
I believe the law is that you can only have like 500 grams on the premises, and they can't.
No, they can't have any hash at all starting.
No, not hash. I'm talking about regular weed.
Marijuana, it's you can't. Yeah, it's for personal use.
500, less than 500 grams in a coffee shop.
Exactly.
And you can't grow it.
Well, you could grow it, but it has to be off-site and it has to be like supervised and inspected and shit. So I've visited grow houses there. It depends. Most of their hash is exported, though. And that's
this is insider information right here.
It's not insider information. Most of their marijuana is grown locally, but the hash is always exported from Afghanistan, Libya,
all I'm saying
Syria,
is only a caliber person
Lebanon.
like you could pull that off. Not a normal tourist doesn't go to Amsterdam and visit a grow house, bro. You know what I mean? Only somebody of your caliber can pull off a story like that.
I have pictures of this on Facebook, actually. I can show you later on after the show.
Just like of the Rastas in Jamaica.
Exactly. I went to plantation in Jamaica. That was a real baller.
And they let you take pictures and shit.
Oh, dude, bro.
Only you can pull something like that off.
You go to Jamaica, you go to a plantation over there, the weed dries on the stem. It's such a beautiful thing. They don't need to dry it. The sun in Jamaica is made so perfectly that they can just pick it right off the stem and smoke it right there. It's freaking unbelievable. Back to Amsterdam, though, as I was mentioning.
You're a real rude boy. Go back to your regular topic.
Yes. So the hash ban, it's pretty bad because what this is going to basically encourage us for the, for the mob and, for the criminal element to get back into the weed business, which they been out of, and pretty much it's for relatively safe.
Well, they definitely have been not out of it for the most part. But what country are you talking
I'm talking about Amsterdam in general. Because there you don't need to go to like a dealer. You can just go to a coffee shop for the most part.
No, yeah,
and most
that's
people,
absolutely true.
And most people at this point would bypass the dealer if they can get it legally, obviously. But what they're doing is by banning hash, their hash would now be again, if you want to get hash, people are still going to want to get hash. I can guarantee you that. You have to go to someone who's, not licensed, someone who's might be dangerous, might be a criminal, whatever, and no longer in a shop, which is kind of stupid. But the reason they're saying they're banning it is because it's not made locally, so it's actually exported, and so there's also, people who are exporting it are profiting, so I guess they're trying to make it like a more,
well, obviously,
local
otherwise
business.
They wouldn't be exporting it.
Right, you can't make hash. You can't make hash really on your own. It's really done in like a big operation.
Holy shit, I almost burned my eyebrows
Yeah, be careful. That's a cracked lighter, my friend. It's a hard operation, so they're banning it, and I don't know, I just think it's a bad idea. The whole place is becoming more and more stringent with it, and, it really is like a unique country that should keep this identity. I think if they lose this particular identity, they're gonna lose a lot of tourism, lose a lot of notoriety. They really are going to become just any other European country. I feel like this puts them on a different pedestal because...
I hope we find some of the notoriety they lose.
Yeah, dude, we should definitely, well, Cali has most of that, but, you know what I mean?
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bad idea.
Whatever.
I think it's a bad idea. I posted the story on the website, on the Facebook, 420 AM. You could search us, like our page. I posted the story about it, talking about the hash ban. It's really unfortunate that what's happening in Amsterdam, they were a model nation, and they had really, really good, basically everything was going really well.
Why don't you post that on the crappery.com?
I can post it on the crappery.com. We'll do that after. We'll do that. I have it on the Facebook page. We can repost it. Make sure everyone gets a glimpse of the article because I feel it's important. It's an important article for just people who are international citizens. It's like they're really cracking down, and I feel like it's happening more and more often everywhere. I just feel like the United Nations and the United States is becoming like the world police, and it's really like they're implementing their own policies all over the world, and it really needs to end. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm sorry. I'm
not a fan of policies in general.
Policies suck, and most of these international...
I like to wing shit as I go along.
Yeah.
I don't like policies and stop trying to tell me what to do before I do it. I don't want my decisions to be based on some fucking policy. Fuck you guys.
No, you're right. I mean...
Fuck policy.
And most of these policies are done not for, to help anybody, but it's for profit mostly. Profit or just being like a dick.
Well, if they're not my fucking policies, they don't give a shit.
Well, I mean... Certain things are like, I'm a big proponent of the only laws that should really exist are laws.
Isn't the federal income tax like supposedly unconstitutional?
It is unconstitutional. That any constitutional attorney will tell you that it's unconstitutional.
Even
it says
the IRS
right there.
Said
there was never an amendment. An amendment was with the 16th Amendment.
It was never ratified, right?
It was never officially ratified. Yeah, Philander Knox, who was the Secretary of Treasury at the time, who comes from an old philander. Look at the first name. You can just tell.
Philanthropist asshole.
Yeah. He philandered everybody and we just made up all these votes that never actually took place. And he passed it, even though some states wrote to him that they wrote the exact opposite. And he just said that they voted for it. He just basically ratified this like law legally, and now the IRS, which is an organization which is not even like part of the Constitution.
They've been locking up American citizens,
but
for a private company.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now it's legal.
The IRS is just an arm of the Federal Reserve, which is the Federal Reserve, my friends, is about as federal as Federal Express. It's just
it's a private company.
It's a private company based in Delaware. Look it up. They have board members made up of bankers from all over the world. The IRS is basically their hedge fund. It's what they use in order to disperse money all over the world and, basically run the world.
They're a bunch of crooks, bro.
It happens, man, and it's happening right now. Unfortunately, most people...
now, unfortunately, it's legal after the fucking NDAA bill been passed. And the Patriot Act has been passed.
Well, I mean, those things don't really relate to the Federal Reserve. But
yes, they kind of do, because think about it.
I understand where you're coming from, but it's a weird
Let me explain where I'm coming from. And let me say this. First off, the Federal Reserve...
Yeah, good one.
Harumph.
That's how I feel. Harumph.
All right.
Are we going to resort to grunting? Is this what's happening?
No, I knew this was going to happen. I knew every time I smoke a bong load before the show, I start betting. Like, I get thoughts and I forget about what
let me pick this up then. So what we were talking about was that the IRS...
We're talking about the Federal Reserve.
We're talking about the IRS more, but the Federal Reserve uses the IRS.
And I was talking about how, like, these new laws that have been applied to it kind of make it legal now for them to do what they've been doing.
But they've
illegally.
always been doing it.
Yes,
since World War II, really.
But now it's legal.
Since the 1930s, it's not like we care whether it's legal or not. They're still not auditable. They can't audit the Fed. Barney Frank and Ron Paul, our good friend, tried, but it didn't work because they're like, well, fuck you guys.
Still not working, apparently.
It's not working because they're not part of the Constitution. They're their own entity. The IRS is basically their financier. They use the IRS taxpayers' money to finance foreign wars, give out IMF loans all over the world, which are not payable, and then the bankers take over those countries, take over their utilities, take over their sweatshops, take over their natural resources, and just basically that's why we have a third world. Is because of the existence of the IMF, the World Bank, and the Federal Reserve, and the European Central Bank. Well, I'm not going to let them off the hook that easily.
They rape us financially and in hotel rooms.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then they get acquitted and not even investigated sometimes. It's crazy, man.
That's fucking bullshit.
To be a banker, right? Like an international banker.
Money talks.
Dude, they're the ones like this small collection of people is really fucking us.
When your company name has the word money in it, then,
International Monetary Fund. Yeah.
You know you're balling.
No, it's true. They are balling because obviously they can take money from anywhere they want because everybody's a part of the Federal Reserve.
There is no money. It's
or the
an
European
illusion.
banking system.
There is no money. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't. The only thing that really exists is resources.
That's it.
Yeah. Money's made up. Money was invented in order to make heavy things easier to carry. And look what it has become. It's become this whole,
That's
nonsense.
That's a good way to put it, bro.
It's all it is. Think about it. People had gold and sheep and fucking, bullion and they're like, I'm not gonna walk around with a fucking horse carriage full of gold. You fucking sell it for money. Banks hold it for you. And that's what the whole basis of money is. We've diluted this situation so deep. It's so fucking diluted now. Money isn't worth shit. It's just paper. The only thing that money is...
It's an illusion.
...is our faith in this country. And yes, I have faith in this country. And that's why I trust in our money.
They don't have faith in other countries.
That's very well put, actually. There's something to be said about that. You know what I mean? I'm not calling the Greeks lazy. But fucking, 8 weeks vacation a year.
You said butt fucking.
Well, that's also very appropriate from what I understand, but I digress. You know what I mean? So I
wonder if iTunes allows phrases like that.
Digress?
No. Butt fucking.
Well, I was clearly, and the intention was not that word. I was saying two separate words.
I know, but I molded it into a joke.
Freaking.
And now I have to explain myself to the Apple company.
Yes, no.
As to why our podcast should be approved.
I think the explanation suffices. I think we're good on that explanation. So back to what we were talking about. Okay. Let's move on. We're mad at the Federal Reserve.
Tell us what you're mad at. Call us in at, tell us what you're mad at. Call us in 347-67-420 AM. We'd like to hear from you.
Yep. This is your Pod Blast podcast coming at you. 4:20 AM, W.E.E.D, G9D, Alexx. What's good, guys?
Oh, you didn't say in the building this time. That's like
I'm in the building. I don't say it all the time. I'll say it when I sign off.
No, you pretty much said that every time
DJ.G9D in the building.
You always say in the building.
That's from my SOU
That's
days.
your catchphrase. Yeah.
That's how I used to sign on air. DJ.G9D in the building, folks. What's good?
Well, because technically that time you were in the building.
I know, exactly. A brick one. It made sense. It was part of a gymnasium, actually.
And Staten Island sounds nowhere near as sketchy.
No. We're in a garage now, I guess. Ooh. Am I giving too much away?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. You're right. Anyway, so this past week, Hump Day, or most known as Wednesday, was Leap Day. So it only happens every 4 years. And let me tell you, it's supposed to be like a lucky day. It was crap for me. I had the worst possible day. Leap Day was
an average
literally, no, maybe for you, but for me, I had a terrible day. Like, first off, how do you get pulled over twice within 45 minutes of each other on 2 different states? That's what happened to me on Wednesday.
By speeding.
Dude, I got pulled over, pulling out of my house.
What are the 2 tickets for?
One guy, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt here, which is bullshit, because you know what? Fuck that shit. If I want to die, I'll die. You can't tell me what to do with my body, damn it. What is this nylon rope around me? I don't want them. What if I'm stuck in the car and I can't find my seatbelt button? Isn't that more likely to kill me than if I wasn't wearing my seatbelt?
No.
Okay, fine. But I shouldn't have to be given a ticket for, I'm going 20 miles an hour. What the fuck's the seatbelt gonna do for me? Fucking making a turn out of my fucking community. And then I got pulled over
for somebody's insurance who might hit you at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, okay, bro. This guy defending insurance in case of shit.
I'm just saying, that's the way it works.
Uh-huh. Alright, the way it works. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, seatbelt laws were not always around. If you want to wear it, you wear it. End of story. I'm a safe enough driver. I trust myself. I've never been in an accident where I needed a seatbelt.
That's true.
There you go. We'll knock on wood.
But that's you.
Okay, whatever. Moving on.
Remember when John got hit by a car?
Hit by a car? You mean he hit a car?
Yeah.
Dude, that taxi guy was fucking scared. He's like, you dented my vehicle.
And John was fine, right?
He was fine. I mean, he pretended like to have a limp or some shit. He was just pimp walking it. It's an excuse to walk around with a cane.
How are you going to total a cab when the cab crashed into you?
Not in the car, just your person. Like, just the body of you.
Your person?
Yeah.
What are you, a cop?
Insanity. That's when you got to reaffirm.
Insanity.
That too. I'm sure he'd think so. Maybe he can cross him over.
I don't think so. I'm not down with this whole insanity.
You're not, bro? Come on, Linsanity. It's fantastic.
It's lymphoma.
It's not. Later on, when he sucks. Lymphoma's nothing to joke around about. He's indestructible. Come on.
No, he's insignificant.
You're wrong on that. But anyway, they won again. They came back from 17 points the other day, and they're playing Boston on Sunday. So tune into that game. Should be interesting. 12 o'clock.
How many points a game does he get?
He's getting like 25 a game almost, averaging.
Yeah,
like 8 assists, like 24, 8. Like 3
consistency. That's what's important.
It is. He had one bad game. He had one really bad game.
Consistency is important for a lot of aspects in life.
It's true, but especially basketball. That's what separates.
That's what I like. Ron's Paul answer. Yeah. Consistency.
It's true. He does not pander. He's not a panderer like the rest of these freaking idiots over there in the Republican
I'm not a panderer, but he listens to Panderer Radio.
Yeah, no, he's not. He doesn't pander to any specific group. He's stuck with the same message for like 30 years. And does he have faults?
And he almost got raped by Bruno.
Yeah, he's got faults. You know, his international policy is not sustainable. He can't be an isolationist in the year 2012. It's ridiculous. There's too much technology, too much world trade happening. Isolationism is not the way to go.
Did we talk about what Sacha Baron Cohen did at the Oscars? Because I know it went into the Oscars last week.
We talked about the band. But he did spill the fucking ashes on Ryan.
He was like, now when people ask you who you're wearing, you can say Kim Jong-il.
Dude, and the funny thing is, he goes, when Seacrest asked him who he was wearing, he goes, John Galliano.
But I got my socks at Kmart.
Yeah, dude, the funniest thing is, his thing is whatever, right? He got his publicity, everyone kind of knew it. Did you see the Donald Trump answer to what happened?
No.
You didn't see the Donald Trump answer? You gotta put it on you gotta link it on the page.
Alright, let's play it live.
This third-rate character named Sacha Baron Cohen thought he was being cute and funny when he threw ashes at Ryan Seacrest. Now, I know Ryan Seacrest. He's a great guy. And you could see he was visibly upset. It was disgraceful. And the security guard that was standing to the right, he ought to be fired immediately. That guy had nothing. He is not capable. He allowed this guy to get away with so much. Believe me, if that ever happened to somebody with real security, Sacha Baron Cohen would not be in good shape right now. He'd be in a hospital. He would have been punched in the face so many times, he wouldn't have known what happened. I only wish that Ryan took a swing at him, and I only wish that the security guard that allowed it all to happen, number one, gets fired, And number 2, go to school, learn about being security. You don't know, man.
Cool.
He's pissed about the fact that the security guard was like not doing his job properly. Yo, if I was that security guard, I would have let it got on for longer. I wouldn't give a shit. Obviously, it's Hollywood. It's staged. Obviously, Sacha Baron Cohen knows not to do anything violent or illegal because he's an actor who's at the Oscars. He's gonna pull a stunt, but he's gonna keep it within means where no one gets hurt. Because he knows these are the people he has to work with, and he doesn't want to be ostracized from the Hollywood community.
That's a good word.
It doesn't. It's true. And you know why Donald Trump is pissed, right? Because if you remember the Ali G show, he got punked by him.
Yes, the ice cream glove.
Badly. The ice cream glove, exactly.
It slapped him in the face.
Yes.
But not literally, but.
I love that bit because Donald Trump is like, it's a fantastic idea. And Ali G's like, are you in? He's like, it's a fantastic idea.
We got P. Diddy sponsored.
Yeah, no, and he's pissed and he starts railing on the security guard who was like, obviously, the security guard was told by the Oscar, organization, I'm sure that they were expecting some kind of incident. They told him to let it happen because it brings publicity to the Oscars.
Right.
The Oscars need publicity. Sacha Baron Cohen didn't need the publicity as much as the Oscars did. Because for the life of me, I can't name anything else that happened on the Oscars that was relevant. Besides the fact that for some reason, a French black and white silent movie won the Best Picture. And I'm not making that shit up.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
That's a great way to put it.
Talking about the Oscars, it's like, are you kidding me? The Oscars, that security guard should get a bonus for allowing that to happen for as long as it did, which he could have kept it going, obviously. They did escort him off the stage. You know what would have been funny, though? This is what I would have done if I was Sacha Baron Cohen. I would have had his female bodyguards try to fight the security. That would have been wrong. That would have been a hit.
Yes,
because they're hot. And like, would the security actually hit a girl? That's the question.
No, I don't think they would.
I wouldn't. I don't care. I've done security.
But they would tase them.
They might tase. They might like restrain them. But that would have been even more publicity for the Oscars.
That's the shit now, tasing people.
Tasing is pretty hot.
It's popular in the polls.
Absolutely.
According to recent polls, tasing is popular.
Tasing is really hot, but whatever. Like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Everybody's doing it these days.
We don't know the long-term side effects of it. So
of tasing. Yeah, I'd rather just get high than tase myself. It hasn't been
around enough for us to really understand.
Electricity?
Well, yeah, obviously we understand electricity, but how it affects people 40, 50 years ago neurologically.
Yo, I'm no Nikola Tesla, bro. I don't understand electricity.
Yeah, but think about it. Like 30 years, 40 years down the road.
I don't have to think about it. I just know. It's a fact.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but the effects of electricity on the human body, for example, when people live under power lines, they're obviously, their health is adversely affected. How do we know tasing won't have a similar effect?
Because there's a strong electromagnetic field, and a lot of the communications between your neurons in the body, which are the nerve cells, are actually electrical signals. So when you have an electromagnetic field, it disrupts it in a way.
Yeah, but still, I mean, there hasn't been extensive testing done. I understand where you're coming from, and you're more scientifically coherent than I am, let's say. I just don't think it's really that. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. Let's take a quick break. I have a phone call coming in.
That's right, and we'll be right back after this.
official?
Yes, it is. It's always official.
You click the button.
Radio 420 AM, W.E.E.D, 34767, 420 AM. Call us now.
This is your official Pod Blast podcast, so get
We're
dialing.
getting blasted while we cast it.
Exactly. Let's get back to the story I was telling earlier about getting 2 tickets within like an hour. That's number one. That was ridiculous. I got a speeding ticket in Jersey. This guy literally pulled me over in the parking lot where I work. No, I'm not even joking. He pulled me over as I pulled into my parking lot. The girls in the office were
I've gotten
laughing
arrested
at
in my
me.
driveway before, all right? This is some infringements on human rights
I'm
shit.
like, can I go to my office? I have work. And he lets me, he's like, you get back in the car. Because I turned it off. I'm like, I just want to go to work, dude. Like, are you really going to pull me over in my parking lot while I'm walking to work? You got to be kidding me. This is the biggest dick cop of all time. It has to be. Like, I mean, I'm at my job. You see me, I'm trying to get to work.
He gave you the ticket after all?
I'm running late. He gives me a ticket. He says, get back in the car and blocks me in. Blocks me in so I can't do anything. He blocks me in and then he's like giving me a lecture about how I did all these things wrong. I'm like, where did this happen? He's like, on Atlantic Avenue, which was like 3 miles back. And he pulled me over at my job 3 miles after all this happened. Literally. I've never been pulled over this late arriving at my destination.
Literally never been this late.
I can't understand how this guy sleeps at night. Just dick move after dick move on his part. Unnecessary.
Jersey!
It is Jersey.
Dirty, dirty.
Oh, come on. I mean, if you guys have stories about Jersey troopers, which I'm sure you do, give us a call.
Yeah,
347-67-420 AM. That's the hotline number. And you might be used on air, believe it or not. You might have to sign a release.
No release.
Stuff. No release.
By calling, you agreed that it will be released.
Yeah. A disclaimer. You're not actually going to read it, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, so that was really, so Leap Day was terrible. Plus, like, that was not, on top of that, I get to work, and I'm late, and like, everything's frazzled, and somehow $800 is missing from the cash drawer. So that was Leap Day for me. Missing money, 2 tickets in 2 different states within about 45 minutes. I mean, what? So no more Leap Days, luckily. Not for another 4 years. And we'll move on to that. But okay, you know, it could be worse, obviously.
Could be.
But still
it could always be worse.
Pretty lousy day, to all things considered. And hopefully this my luck changes. No more Leap Days for 4 years.
Well, it's Friday. There's no way that could be a bad day.
That's true. Friday's awesome.
Never a bad day.
2100 though, the year 2100. They're skipping leap year because they have, in order to make it.
Do you think you'll live to see it?
100 years. You think? I think I will actually. I'll be 115 years old. I think by the year 2100, 115 is going to be like the median age of people.
I think so too.
I think I might be alive. I have a chance. You know what I mean? Like right now,
science and technology is improving at a rapid pace.
It is, and like I said, like most of my family, I guess, you know, there's some, you know, it depends. But I have on my father's side specifically, people live for a pretty long time, well into their 80s. So I think I have the genetics right now to overcome, and I'm also pretty healthy for the most part.
Squeeze your tits together.
I don't eat. Yeah, well, no, that's muscle right there, buddy. I don't eat fast food. I haven't eaten fast food in almost 7 years, except for the occasional.
All right, chest master flex.
The occasional
Chill
White
out.
Castle. Yeah, dude, don't be jealous, you scrawny bastard.
Squeeze your tits together, bro.
No, dude. What do you mean? It's all muscle. I don't need to squeeze them. They do it voluntarily. Voluntarily, bitch.
Voluntarily.
So that was my Weep Day. Pretty whack. I hope
you know what they say about
voluntary.
voluntary? It's better than involuntary.
Always. Always. You always want to volunteer for something. And that's that. So, I mean, that's where we're at, my friend. So, Super Tuesday's coming up, the big election. This might settle the actual, primary for the most part, because if Gingrich and his Mormon cronies win this one...
Mormon cronies.
The Mormons bought the election. I mean, you understand that, right?
That kind of church has a lot of money. And a lot of pull in this country.
And the funniest part about the whole Mormon, money situation, he's having money problems because he has no individual donors. Literally has no base. All he has is rich people giving him massive amounts of money.
Well, thank God he doesn't have corporate sponsors.
Yes, sponsored by but it's Jesus
it's like
Christ,
NASCAR.
Church of Latter-day Saints.
It's like the NASCAR of religion.
Yeah. It's the Church of Latter-day Saints, bro. That's the Mormonism is a brand. The Mormonism is a brand name religion, my friend. They're trying to build...
Sponsored by Walmart socks.
Imagine how much more credibility Mormons will get around the world if a Mormon becomes president. Think about it. They already have bases all over the South Pacific and Europe and in Asia and stuff. They actually have a very large South Pacific
Their religion
population.
sounds insane.
Bro, they have a large South Pacific population. You know why? Because their whole story is based on
because
Jesus
the History Channel got Ancient Aliens on.
No, because that's part of it, but because
I believe so. How else can you replicate that many dumbasses into a single religion that doesn't make sense?
They gotta change their name to the Theory Channel. It's not really history anymore. They're just throwing out theories. And how is Ice Road Truckers history? I don't know, man.
Because whoever made it to the bottom of that lake are history.
Yeah, well, that's the only way it applies. But anyway, what were we talking about? Mormonism, they have a big South Pacific base because, think about it, their story talks about Jesus coming to America and the Native Americans being the original Israelites or whatever. That makes perfect sense to them because they, they walked across the Bering Strait and all that stuff. That's them. Those Native Americans in the South Pacific people are very closely related. So there's a lot of Samoans and a lot of, people in the South Pacific in general that are buying into Mormonism, and they have people from all over the world. And that's what I'm saying. If Romney becomes president of the United States, he will basically give Mormonism that final boost that it needs to become a major religion. Think about it.
Who the hell's honking that horn outside the studio?
That's the hooligans. They're in for some trouble. So yeah.
The hooligans?
The hooligans.
Hooligans.
Yeah, dude. That's what's happening right now. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at, my friend. So there's a lot of shit going on, and it's a big election this Tuesday.
Last week our show was a big hit with the Poland or Mexico or Poland game.
Take a break real quick.
Let's do it. We'll be right back after this.
Are you abusing your medicine cabinet? Do you suffer from prescription pill addiction like Oxy, Roxy, Xanax, Valium, Methadone, Suboxone, Ambien, Percocet, and Vicodin? Did your doctor prescribe you pills that you can't live or function without? PillAddicts.com should be your next step to live a normal life. PillAddicts.com and you can stop the prescription pill epidemic in America today.
All right, and we're back. That was an interruption.
Radio 420 AM.
People rushing me. I got to go to a bar. It's closing early. This is nonsense. I'm telling you.
So we got to cut this shit short.
We'll be back on Tuesday though, so we're gonna do. This is our big announcement. Obviously, we're gonna do two shows per week now, starting today, right?
Yeah, starting today. All right.
So that's the big announcement. So this one's a little shorter, but I think we had a great fucking. We're gonna have some tracks on that are gonna be awesome right after this, and we'll see you guys later this week, probably Wednesday, and we're going live in a month and a half-ish. So
not month and a half-ish, in a couple. As soon as we get like 2-3 more episodes.
Okay, so there you go.
Probably 2 then 3.
I'm not even like I was giving you fucking credit there. Regardless, month and a half is fine with me. Take your time. Let's do this right.
All right.
Dj.G9D, Alexx Sounds.
This is in the building.
In the building. We're out of the building now.
He's the wise man.
Nah, this is W.E.E.D. 420 AM. And,
he's got a lot of good political views, doesn't he? He really does.
We're gonna be back really soon. We're gonna talk more. We're gonna be back. We're gonna do our Super Tuesday episode, right? Discuss the election results of Super Tuesday, which has a lot of important states going.
Look, at the pinnacle of Black Battle. I'm almost descended halfway back down the mountain.
Yeah, you're declining now. Absolutely. We're in decline. And
decline mode.
We'll do a Super Tuesday special episode.
On Super Tuesday, you said that was supposed to happen last week.
No, Super Tuesday's this week. This past Tuesday, we had Arizona and Michigan, which Romney won both of them.
It's another Super Tuesday, because I could have sworn.
It wasn't Super Tuesday, dude. It was just a regular day.
Because I could have sworn last week you said it was Super Tuesday.
No, next week.
Last Sunday, you said.
Well, I meant 2 weeks from then. I apologize if I misspoke. But yeah, Super Tuesday episode is going to be pretty fat. We're going to discuss the results, have some fun, talk about some other related things.
Absolutely.
And this, it's going to be awesome. Big things happening.
Sorry for the short show, guys.
Nah, it's all good. We'll put some nice tracks in. If you don't put my tracks on, I will kill you. I'm not even joking.
I said the fucking weekday show can have your tracks in it, but you keep neglecting it.
I will evil you more. I will harass you.
The Tuesday show will have your tracks in it. It'll be tracks by G9D.
I've been revolting against you forever, and you still haven't listened to
I'm just saying, the reason why there's club music in it is because it's always the weekend.
I like club music. I will give you props.
Yes, because it's always the weekend.
But please,
you want your music? Do the
weekday show. Fine, we'll compromise.
No, not weekday show. The midweek show.
Okay. So yeah, I'm compromising here. I don't mind doing 2 shows
I'm at a loss of words here.
The fans demand it. I'm all for it. I give the people what they want, so it's not a problem. But keep in mind, during the midweek shows, I will be sending you tracks, and you will be using them for help me God, bro. And I don't believe in him, so he won't even be able to help you. I swear.
Who's he?
I'm getting requests, and this needs to be my warnings must be heeded, bro.
Which requests?
From people who listen to the show who are asking me to make selections because of my awesome music skills and DJing abilities.
Well, yeah, did your midweek show.
All right, fine, bro. I'll see you later.
Tuesday's show is a G9D special. You know
Super Tuesday.
We'll see you then.
We'll have some tracks
This
on.
is Radio 420 AM, 347-67-420 AM. Call us up, leave us a message, and we'll get in touch with you Tuesday. See you then.
Peace.